Thing, you go? You good?
Yep.
Cool. Alright, show of hands. Who here deals with, like, taxes and paying your bills on time and how much that sucks? As, like, an average worker? Yes? Yes. Who here has to worry about the work-life balance all the time? And how much of a pain that can be? Who here has to worry about those ones you don't have to if you don't have to? Has to worry about medications on top of paying for work, on top of rent, on top of school? Wouldn't it be great to have, you know, someone out there in the media that represented that struggle?
Oh, you're doing the there you go.
There you go. Spider-Man. Is that the laser? That's a laser
Yeah.
pointer. See, I'm smart sometimes. Now, Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, was created in 1962 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So after the Fantastic Four, before the Avengers, we're still like baby Marvel here. Stan Lee in the 60s realized that teenagers were a growing demographic in the media that had no representation, like none, zero. Every hero if there was a strong-jawed muscle man from the 40s who, you know, truth, justice, the American, whatever. So he goes to the editor, editor being, whatever. Goes to the editor says, no, Spider-Man, bugs are gross. No, get out of here. Fine, we'll put your Spider-Man in the final issue of an already canceled anthology comic just to get it out of my hair. What's the worst that could happen? Well, it becomes the most popular selling comic of all time, that's what. Guess we're onto something. So, Peter Parker is a nerd. He's a loser. Absolute loser. He's doing great in school. Girls don't like him. The girls want the curly, blonde-haired jock with the T on his sweater because his name's Flash Thompson. Does anybody, like, initialize their names on their shirts? The point being, he's a loser. And, you know, spider bite and powers, you get the drill. So Spider-Man gets his powers, as you do, we've seen the movies, and he gets his costume. But he's not a hero right away. What's his first impulse upon gaining superpowers? He goes wrestling to make money because he's a teenager who wants to go to parties. Duh. So after one of his press conferences, this guy runs past and a policeman says, "Stop, thief!" Spider-Man lets the thief go by and says, "Sorry, pal, that's your job. I'm through being pushed around." He's a teenager who just got superpowers. Duh, this is how he acts. And we all know where this goes. The very same guy that he let go, that he could have stopped by sticking out his foot, something any of us could have done. Uncle Ben's murdered, 1962. Only a couple pages long, and so old ago that they gave him pupils on the mask. It's terrifying. Now, why is this so different to other heroes of the time? We'll get to that in just a hot second. The first issue of the full Spider-Man comic, after this anthology preview, has him dealing with rent, because Uncle Ben is dead, and he was the only one of the family making money. What other superhero comic has their premier issue's problem be, oh my god, I'm a teenager with an elderly aunt and no one's paying rent? So the whole first issue is him trying and trying. So he gets a job at like a performance, at like a carnival or something like that. And he has to like blow off all of his, not friends, they don't like him, but his classmates to going to it. And lo and behold, he doesn't get paid anyways because he doesn't have a legal name. He's Spider-Man. If you showed his face, they'd see he's a teenager, he'd be in trouble. And we all know where this goes. He goes to work for J. Jonah Jameson, takes photographs of himself. But Jonah thinks he's a menace because real heroes like his astronaut son are the ones that really deserve respect. But Spider-Man points out, what about the Fantastic Four? Those guys are superheroes. Well, let's take a look at how that comic went a little differently. The Fantastic Four were superheroes because they went to space to beat the Russians because it's science. Oh no. 1 second. Forward. They come back down to Earth 1 page later and they have magnificent powers. And on the very next page they go, yes, we will join forces to use our powers to protect the world. 3 pages later, like, they're phenomenal. But that's not the same as learning the consequences of getting your own uncle killed because your teenage arrogance with your powers drove you to that. And back in that first issue, Spider-Man even goes to the Fantastic Four to ask if they pay to be on their super team because the kid's still broke. And of course they run him out, and they wish they could have helped him. But they're not. But they're not a for-profit superhero team. They're scientists. Here's a bit of a digression that I think you guys will just find very funny. When Spider-Man does get his job and sells like a stack of photos to Jonah Jameson, he gets a bonus for his photographs. How much do you think he gets paid? Apparently enough for a year's worth of rent and a new kitchen set. What the hell are journalists being paid in the 1960s? Now, one more thing for the importance of why Spider-Man is important as a hero. See, they used to do letters to the editor. Here's a letter from issue number 50, Spider-Man No More. Dear Stan and John, from Corporal Leonard R. St. Clair of the Vietnam War. I thought I left comic books somewhere in my past, but once again, I find myself reading them. It would surprise many people back in the States to learn that so many servicemen read them, especially Marvel Comics Group, which is sold in every PX I've been in over here. It always makes us mad to miss an issue. We don't have much time for reading here in Vietnam, though we are usually able to squeeze enough time to read your Marvels. Spider-Man's by far my favorite, though all your superheroes are really something. We sure could use them over here, but I guess we'll have to rely on our own talents. Maybe a coincidence, but we think of ourselves as superheroes. If you get a chance, send it over here. But to be serious, thanks a lot for providing with some action-packed material. We like your series. They like letters from home, take our minds off Vietnam, and Stan wrote back thanking him. 3 issues later, at the end of the Spider-Man No More story arc, Stan received another letter. Dear Stan, since all of us in the headquarters section of the India Company are Spider-Man fans, we regret to inform you that Corporal St. Clair, whose letter will be printed in Spider-Man 50, was killed in action 28th February 1967. He was a squad leader of the 3rd Platoon when his patrol was ambushed southwest of Da Nang. Your comic Spider-Man is the most sought-after piece of literature and art in this company. Keep up the good work. You're a real morale booster. Stan wrote back, God rest you, soldier. God bless you all. We express the fervent hope that the day will soon come when men in every land will walk together in peace and brotherhood. If that doesn't impress you, the importance of these kinds of characters for the teenage audience, for the adult audience, for anyone out there, I'm not sure it will. Thanks.
All right.